Alright guys, today's talk is just about, I kind of got inspired yesterday. A couple of clients, one that we've had from the beginning and one that is recently brand new, they had their own like private discussion in their car ride, and it kind of inspired today's talk. So we're pushing what we had from this week to next week, because I wanted to talk about things as far as like practicing. I got asked yesterday, what's the best way, or are we still going to be able to work on like handstand walks if we've only touched it one time? How are we going to get better at those specific skills, right? So, and I was trying to explain that the things that we do in CrossFit, all those things should kind of translate one into the next, right? Our ring dips, our push-ups, our push press, those all simulate the same movement pattern, and one should help strengthen the other. So we shouldn't have to necessarily do ring dips all the time to get better at them. Does it help? Yes, but it's a translation process with CrossFit that allows, like for instance, the best example I have is the front squat, right? Why do we front squat with our hands in the front rack position? Not necessarily because it's a stronger position to front squat with. It does offer a unique point of leverage on the bottom of your front squat, but if we were really just going after true front squats, I could have you do it whichever way you want. Genie, old fashioned, they do it all the time in old school Globo gyms. So they used to do front squat without their hands technically behind the bar, but having our hands underneath the bar translates over into things like touch and go clean and jerks, thrusters, catching a squat clean thruster. Those things with a front squat with my hands in the front rack, those things transfer over really well into Olympic lifts, the things that we see on a daily basis. So, and it plays in one of the key components of CrossFit's, 10 physical attributes, right? We're talking about flexibility, we're talking about being coordinated, we're talking about agility, balance, accuracy, all these other things. So when I get asked, if I had only touched handstand walk once in 3 months, how am I going to get better at it? Well, suppose it's supposed to happen to where you come in and you train and we practice, and those two things help us allow us to transfer one thing into the next. So when we do movements, right, those movement patterns are replicated somewhere down the line, whether it's core work or or it's getting calories in on the bike or getting calories in on the rower. The rower simulates the same movement pattern that a clean does, right? So we're still going in the same fashion. So it's, in a roundabout way, what we're doing is we're practicing everything, right? And by practicing everything, it should allow us to have one thing transfer into the next, right? We shouldn't have to just continuously go after ring dips in order to get them better. We should be able to strengthen our arms, right, and the midsection of our body gymnastics wise in order to get a ring dip highly efficient. So I think that was one of the huge things that maybe goes misunderstood or maybe just goes untalked about is, I did handstand walk one time. I keep referring to handstand walk because that's a high level skill. And so we do rarely see that with the general class. So when I get asked, why we only did handstand walk and I suck at it. Well, yes, but we have been working on handstand push-ups. We have been working on strict press. We have been working on our ring holds, right? And our hollow body holds, and that kind of stuff translates over into a handstand walk. Now, I'm not limiting you to trying these things out at home, right? And in most cases, we find that athletes that are under extreme fatigue end up better technically sound than most. So I think that with that, you're going to start to realize that as you get tired, you're actually performing a little bit better. You're noticing your body's becoming aware of what's going on and what's happening and what muscle groups you actually have to use, right? You can use your arms as much as you want in a clean, but when your arms are dead, you know, your hips, your big movers are going to be the ones that start taking over. The other thing is pace. The other question they had was, is it better to go heavier and just finish the workout no matter how long it takes, or should I lighten the load and get a decent time, right, and finish in a timely manner? So that concept is addressed mostly in the beginning of the workout by us coaches, right? We want to have a specific range of time. If I time cap a workout, it's because I don't want to see you go past that time frame. And if you do get capped out, it's supposed to be a wake-up call. It's supposed to be you realizing that you couldn't get the work done in that time frame, so you should have went lighter. You should have maybe chose a different movement, or we should have condensed the reps. There is all types of modifications to allow us to get those tasks completed in a timely fashion. So I would say never choose a heavy weight and just get it done no matter how long it takes, because that isn't fitness, right? We want our body systems to be working on a regular basis, right? We're consistently moving throughout our workouts, and I think that if you choose a heavy load and the heavy load ends up hindering you from finishing in that time duration that we've specified, a challenging time duration, then you should probably lighten the load or lessen the reps in a toes to bar or a skilled movement gymnastically. I don't think gymnastically is a word, but if it's gymnastically, right? That is what will help us achieve a better fitness result, right? And by that I mean we're reaching our goal time frames. We're staying on a consistent pace throughout the workout. And there are going to be workouts where you sprint, and there are going to be workouts where you pace. And just knowing the difference between those two and learning how your body reacts when you push it to the red line and then you back off a little bit and realize, where is your red line? Do people know where the red line is? Are you going too hard, too fast, and then not having anything left in the rest of the workout? Or are you going too slow? And you know, it's just taking you a long time to get through, but you really aren't even tired at the end of the workout. You should have given more, right? You should have throttled at the end and then be dead after the workout. You know, one of my biggest pet peeves in the gym is when people say they can't. The second worst thing is when people say, "Is that it?" As a coach, when you hear "is that it," it means that that person really didn't give everything that they had into the last bit of their workout, or they weren't really staying on the proper pace for themselves. Because if they are doing extra, right, after, or they want more after, then they didn't really take under consideration the purpose of the workout. Yeah. With that being said, you know, those things, that's like a completely separate topic. But I think that what we're trying to develop is skill across all different movements. So it's hard to see them come up when once a month and try and be good at them, I understand. But what we're looking at, translation of skill, one thing into the next, one movement helping another. And the other thing is pacing, right? Pacing, knowing your speed, knowing your body, knowing when to push it hard and sprint, and when to stay at that 80%, take it up to that red line, back it back down, and then push it hard at the end, so that you're not saying, "Is that it?" You should be not talking after the workout's over. So, a couple things that came up this week, new topics next week. Good luck.